Okay, guys, thank you for joining us again. I'm here with Chris, and today we're going to be talking about how to influence the interview, how to really influence the interview so that you can win that job and make very good career progress and hopefully go into a bigger position with a better salary.
Yeah, definitely. Like, influencing the interview is what we do naturally. You either influence the interviewer successfully, so they see you as something that they want, something that they value, someone that they want to offer a job to, or you influence the interviewer naturally, unsuccessfully. They don't desire you, they don't think you're going to offer anything to the company, so you don't get offered the job. But it's different techniques and tips that we can use as the interviewee to ensure that our influence is on the positive side, so we get offered more jobs and we're more likeable and people desire us that a little bit more.
Right, so it's about having a positive influence rather than a negative influence.
Yeah, because we naturally influence people one way or the other.
Yes.
What you're doing is picking words, techniques, solutions and styles to influence it in the way you want that interview to go.
Okay, fantastic. So, what would you say at the beginning of the interview, at initial phases, making that first impression? How would you influence that interview at the beginning, having that a very good start? How would you do that?
So the key thing at the beginning then is to have like massive rapport, because the way we work is that all your following interview answers get filtered through that initial opinion. And when anyone meets you in any situation, you instantly have an opinion about that person. People say it's like 3 to 5 seconds, but it's like milliseconds. You meet someone and how they walk, their style of clothes, their tonality, the way they look, your own experiences, your current state, all filters this stuff like instantaneously, and you have this like snap judgment about that person. We have prejudices about individuals. But what you can do in those first few seconds, those first few minutes, is turn that around so that interviewer's opinion about you is like really strong and really positive. And the key is like it's so easy this bit. People like people who are like themselves. So if you've got commonality with that interviewer, then they're gonna like you straight away. And there's loads of research done on this, like absolutely loads of research. You know when you get sales call, like that cold call and stuff, people are more likely to listen longer to that caller or even buy the product if that person has the same name as the person they're ringing.
Yeah.
So if they ring up and go, oh hi, can I speak to Chris? Or if they ring up and go, oh hi, my name's Chris, I'm calling from this company, because my name is Chris, I instantly like them a little bit more than I would do if they was called David, John, Michelle or Trevor.
Yes.
Because we have this natural thing to like people who like ourselves. So in the interview situation, you can use that technique, and with Google and with like LinkedIn and online social media, what you can do is Google your interviewer and find out what they like, what their hobbies, what are their interests. You can also tell by the way people write things about themselves, what sort of personality traits that person has. Is they sort of very logical, or they're innovative, they're very structured. Even some things about their values and what's important to them. You can get so much off the internet. But let's just stay there, I don't know, like a fan of Manchester United. You get to the interviewer and there's always loads of little small talk, isn't there? So you had a nice weekend, Chris. Yeah, you know, I was watching the Manchester United game last weekend. It was a really good game. Oh, I'm a United fan. You instantaneously get a little bit of likability, because when people like something, they have strong associations emotionally, like fun, excitement and stuff attached to that thing. When you talk about the thing they're interested in, that same emotions are fired in that person and they associate them to you, and that's how you create likability straight away.
So basically what you gotta do is, whilst doing your research and preparing for the interview, do a bit of research on who you're going to be interviewed by and identify what their common interests, what their interests are, what their hobbies are, and use that, what you found out, to build that instant rapport at the first initial phase of the interview.
Yeah, definitely. You can even use this later on, because obviously that builds a bit of rapport, builds a bit of likability, so your next answers are filtered through this like positive thing. And in lots of organisations or lots of employers, lots of interviewers, well, that preference is always stuff. Some people are goal setters, some people are problem solvers. And what you need to do is, when you're answering interview questions, is phase your questions in a way that responds to them, that they have a connection with. So they go, God, this person is like me, I'm a goal setter, or I'm a problem solver, so is this person that I'm interviewing. And you build up on that rapport thing. At the beginning of the interview, though, you might not know all this criteria, so you can give answers with both options. And what people do when they listen to someone who's given an answer with both options is pick the one that they like and delete the one that they don't like.
Yes.
So they presume they make this generalization that you like the thing they like. So that sounds really confusing, doesn't it? As an example, they might say, one of the things that we've got, one of the systems we use is this equipment called XYZ. What's your opinion of that? So you're thinking, oh no, like, what do I say? I like it. Do I say I not like it? I need this interview to like my answer. So you give an answer with both options, and the interviewer will naturally choose the one that they prefer and perceive that you have that same opinion. We do it all the time. It's such a psychological trait that we have. You say one of the things I like about system XYZ is A, B, and C. The negative thing about system X, Y, and Z is 1, 2, and 3. So you give both answers and allow the interviewer to pick it. And they'll have to go, I agree, yeah, I like it, or I agree, I don't like it for that reason. And then you jump on that and talk about that specific thing in a little bit more detail.
Yes, that's so true. Yeah. When you think about it, like if you highlight both the pros and the cons of whatever options given, they'll automatically filter what they associate it with and take that on board.
Especially because they already like you. This happens when you go dating as well. A girl comes up to you on a speed dating thing. What sort of music do you like? Oh well, I like a bit of rock, I like a little bit of pop, and I like a little bit of classic. Oh, I really like classical music. Oh, what's your favourite classical artist? So you're going to pick out, they actually pick out, because they like you already, they pick out the thing that they like, and then you talk about that thing in more detail.
Yes. So you sort of open up the platform for them to decide, what they like, or for them to say, for them to mention what they are like or what they consider best, and then you can identify effectively what it is, and then you can build on it.
But the best thing about that is that they delete the other part of the conversation. They delete the pop, the rock artists, and delete the negative things there, like the positive thing about the system, because they like you, they're focusing on the thing that you've got in common. They want you to like them as much as they like you.
Right, fantastic. Thanks for that, Chris.
No worries.
So much golden nuggets there. So the other thing that question I'd like to cover is, let's say if an employer at the job interview has a certain, maybe a negative opinion about you for whatever reason on a certain thing, how would you, at the interview, how would you influence the interview to sort of overcome that situation, that obstacle, that opinion?
Yeah, so it's all about like reframing. So this happens like loads, doesn't it? But it's all about reframing, getting the interviewer to go from the glasses are empty to the glasses are full, and you just challenge their belief system on this. So, as an example, an employer might be interviewing, looking at your CV and going, oh, I can see that you used to work at X, Y, and Z organisation. Isn't everyone there really lazy? Because his experience of working with people from that organisation is that they're all lazy, they're all rubbish. So he's made a generalisation that everyone who works there has got the same work ethic. So what you need to do is reframe that straight away, so there's no way that person associates the negative things with you. So as an example, you could say, yes, that's right, everyone who works there is lazy, agreeing here what the interviewer is saying. They're like, oh right, yeah, he's agreeing here, so I'm going to now listen. Which is why I want to work for you, with a company who have good work ethic.
Right. So
you agree with what they say, because when you disagree, you create conflict. Not everyone who works there is lazy. Well, actually, one of my experiences is, I met 3 people, you end up like having an argument in the interview, you don't want that. So you agree with them, that lowers their defence system, and then you reframe it to show that you're, not in this example, the lazy person. It's a bit like when you're a little bit younger and you're going for jobs. It's so hard to get a job because you've got the qualification, but you just haven't got the experience. Yes. And interviewers might say in an interview, so I can see you're well qualified, but you've not got the experience. So they've got this like negative thought. So you need to reframe that. And you could say something along the lines, yeah, I agree, I've not got 5 years experience like some of you other applicants, but what I do have is the passion, the knowledge, the commitment. I will prove to you. And you sort of like build up this sort of thing, so the focus goes from the negative to the positive.
Right. So what you're going to do is basically agree to what they're saying.
Yeah, because that dissolves any potential conflict.
Yes, so that's gets rid of the conflict, and then you highlight and focus and expand on how you can benefit to them with whatever that's the outcome of it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like you said, if they have an association, negative association with the company you work for, just say this is the reason why I'm looking for a new job.
Yeah, like reframing that whole situation.
Yes. So yes, so you agree to what the conflicting or the negative opinion about a certain thing, and then
Yeah.
you reframe it so that it works to your benefit and get that point across.
Yeah,
Is that right?
that's right. Yeah.
Pretty in a nutshell.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Fantastic. If you got any more questions about how to influence the interview at in your next job search, any more questions about how to perform better at job interviews, feel free to leave a comment, and we'll be happy to answer them.
Fantastic. See you guys.
See you soon.
Bye.